Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Occult Chat. I'm Alex Harper, joined by, as always, Hope and Cooper. Hey guys,
Hello.
how's it going?
Hi guys.
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We got a great show for you tonight. I'm excited. Well, actually, let's wish Anahaa a happy Valentine's Day because she's joining us all the way from India, where it is already Valentine's Day.
I was going to say.
It's actually February 13th, but for our guest tonight, it's already Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, Anahaa.
Happy Valentine's Day to you guys too.
Yeah,
Don't let a Catholic marry you to convert you.
Huh?
Don't let
What?
a Catholic priest marry you to convert you. That's St. Valentine. Sorry, that was a bad joke about Catholicism that ruined the tempo at the outset. I'm so sorry. I will wear my hat in the shame position for a while the rest of you
I've
speak.
never seen Cooper be embarrassed before. This is awesome. I'm just kidding, Cooper.
No. I don't know. I will convert the Catholic priest if I have to, but I'm not going the other way around. Been there, done that.
Hell yeah. Okay. Our guest is on my level. I would love to turn out a priest. I think that would be a lot of fun. I have converted a lot of other Christians, but I have not yet found a priest who I can corrupt. And I think that would be you. I mean, we might need to tag team him.
Yes, we're starting a cult. Exactly. That's what we're doing.
I mean, there's a lot of priests that are already kind of, into an alternative practice, shall we say. So,
I mean,
absolutely
if you really talk about Christianity and stuff, most of it is like already connected to the occult. So it really doesn't matter if they dismiss it or no, right? Like you can't deny the hardcore facts. It is a very occult practice in itself. It's hidden, right? So that's what the whole point of the occult is.
well, yeah,
It might
right.
be in front of you, but still you might not even understand it until you're at that level.
well, and like the mass used to be said in Latin, right? And a lot of people didn't speak it. And
that's why Annalise and Mikkel got possessed, because they stopped doing the mass in Latin. And then the whole exorcist came about, and then the evangelicals got power. If the Catholics had kept mass in Latin, the evangelicals would never have risen to power in America riding the exorcist.
right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Damn. That's like
I never thought I would find myself against Vatican II, but here we are. As you can tell, we're vamping for a great intro. So I just want to jump into our guest, because you're really quite fascinating in that you bring together a lot of different sort of perspectives, but are rooted in sort of, and maybe this is not totally fair, but when we're talking about Western magic, especially, I think talking about Indian practices and the broad stroke magical culture, I don't know if I would talk about it as the mother, but it's certainly a well to which Western occultists have gone back to since before Alexander found his defeat at the end. Like, and in your practice, from what you've shared with us and what you post online, it's such a fascinating mix of, very modern kind of on the edge, maybe psychology, right? Like hypnosis, and then deeply rooted in thousands of years of astrological tradition. Can you give us like an elevator pitch as to like who you are, what you do, and what it is? Because I find it so fascinating, and I'd love to hear it in your words.
Sure. Okay, cool. So one of the major things that it's so funny you asked this, because yesterday I was just typing out my entire thing. Like, what is it that you do? Like, how do you tell people? I was just writing that down for my website. And the easiest way I could say is that I help people move from survival to thriving. No matter what your background is, no matter what trauma it is, no matter what it is, there is always a way. The reasons why I tap into a lot of modalities, and I've learned a lot of them, is because not one modality is going to work with everyone, right? And the whole point of spirituality, regardless of where it is from, it is to help people realize that, wait, you actually have the power. Like, stop giving your power away to the external 24/7. And that was the whole point of religion as well at some point, right? It was to make people realize that, wait, you also are the creator.
Mhm.
But somewhere, we got lost in translation on a pedestal, and then the crash started happening. So this is why I decided that, wait, let's merge practices that help people directly, like Kriya Yoga, right? Apparently even Jesus practiced Kriya Yoga when
What
he
was
was
that?
in India.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Jesus actually practiced Kriya Yoga as well.
Okay, okay. Could you go into that more? I think people are gonna have
So
questions.
I've heard this before, so you have my
Yeah.
flag of support here.
No, yes, because when he was in India, right? When he was spending his time in India, he did learn. There are a lot of proofs that have eventually come up of him practicing this. Otherwise, there is no way possible that without preparation of the body, he can go into meditation at that level in the desert, right? Because no matter what, even in Buddhist traditions, even in yogic traditions, you cannot meditate. You cannot go into advanced practices if you're not physically ready for it. And that's what Kriya does. Yeah.
Could you explain to us what Kriya Yoga is?
Yes. Kriya Yoga is, we call it as a lightning path in a way, because it accelerates your journey like crazy. When we say crazy, this is why it was kept in the hidden for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can help an individual tap into their full potential. It works directly with the energy channels, works directly with the spine, directly with the breath, and builds your entire capacity. It's like hitting a full reset. It's like you've been given a new life. Now you are in control. Now whatever happens is your responsibility. So it's almost like transitioning you into becoming an adult as well. But now you also have these cool little powers that tell you that, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that internally. So you stop listening to external and start listening to the divine present within you. It burns a lot of your karma as well, right? Karma is basically lessons. So you just realize them. That, wait, this is not right. I'm not supposed to be doing this. How can I change that? Because I believe in the West, there's a lot of distortion when it comes to karma as well, right? It's not revenge.
So so in the West there is this distortion in how karma is perceived. And
Karma is not sin, you bastards.
It's
not.
like,
It's not good points. Like, anti-sin.
But there's almost this conception that karma is the counter force that's coming back at you after you do something bad, right? There's like,
catch me a white woman who can explain Dharma.
Like it's some little like
who can
gremlin running around that's gonna attack you as soon as you do something bad.
Why are you talking to me about karma if you can't talk about Dharma? What are we doing here? I need both.
It doesn't work that way. It's just,
why are we talking in my hot yoga session about karma, but you're not asking me about my Dharma? Why are we not talking about my purpose? Why are we not talking about this? Oh, I'm so sorry. I really know that we're gonna be friends.
It is very interesting because I see that it's like, oh, you did me wrong. You're gonna get your karma. No, honey.
Yes.
I better hope the universe doesn't like me more than you.
It doesn't. Universe doesn't play favorites. God doesn't have favorites. And the entire ideology, like, oh, if I do good, I'm gonna get good. If I do bad, I'm gonna do bad. I'm gonna get bad. That's from when you were kids, right? You hear your parents say that. It's basically that.
Yeah, what goes around
just rebranded.
That's
so do we want to
say it? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we talk about what karma actually is, I mean, a lot of karma is, kind of like these epigenetics or these like things from your ancestors. Like a lot of karma is like actually, you can see it in your lineage almost, right? So it like carries down that way. And that's like the major thing that I feel like people in the West like just don't understand. Like that's like the biggest side of karma that they're just completely missing. And then there's other things that are misapprehensions. I don't know, what would you say is like the biggest misapprehension there is about the concept of karma in the West?
No, it is exactly that. Because like it's not that you have done. You know, when you start doing the inner work, right? Like that's what Kriya helps with. It is not just burning your karma. You're also telling the universe that wait, I am the one in my lineage who's also gonna change a lot of things. So now you're not just facing your fair share. You're also facing the lineage's fair share. This is why when the awakening happens, like when you get triggered, when you're like, wait, why is everyone doing this wrong? That is also the divine intervention that is redirecting you. And a lot of people get these redirections, but they're not willing to face it.
Right. Yeah. It's
So-
difficult to deal with. I mean, once you are going through it, it's difficult to come to terms with the idea that like, oh, I might have I'm a version of myself that I didn't consent to, and everyone else around me kind of expects me to be this version. So it's kind of difficult to come out of that and be like, you know what? Like, I think that my values don't align with what's around me. But it's difficult to go through that process because it's so much easier to just like have the same opinions as everybody else or like be on the same page as everybody else. It's so much easier, and harmony just feels nicer, you know, like conflict and disagreements doesn't feel good. So it's kind of what I'm going through right now. So I've that resonated with me.
As
No,
someone with
it's-
ADHD, I like arguing. I think it's fun. All right.
She does too.
No, but it makes sense. Like when you're going through something like this, you don't want to hear people being harsh to you. That is the last thing that you need, right? You need to. This is why communication is also something. I think a lot of people in the West, what I've seen is they don't know how to talk. Like
I can't read.
I get it. You can say what's on your mind, but like we need to have a bit of conscious, like how it might impact the other person, right? Like just because, like, okay, let's just say you guys do tarot readings, astrology readings, right? Let's just say if you see in a chart that, okay, this person is going through a lot. Maybe right now is not the best time to hit them with really harsh things by using the harshest words. That could put them into a spiral.
Yeah.
Like speaking your truth doesn't have to be you hurting the other person. It can be done with so much love. This is why, you know, when we talk about the West practices, right? They have taken the soul out of the practices. The soul is what gives that love.
So I want to follow up on that. There's a comedian I love, broad strokes. His name is Gianmarco something. And he's you know, like the gayest straight man to ever live. And one of his bits most recently has been about how like he hates that yogis or in yoga sessions they talk about religion and astrology and spirituality.
Yeah.
And obviously as someone who is on that side of things, I'm like, what do you mean? That would be like being mad you showed up to church and they're talking about Christ. Like that's what this is. And he was so serious, and in this podcast with another, you know, a bunch of other comedians who are all very LA based, who would all consider themselves very progressive and aware and you know,
rational.
yada. Right.
Yeah.
Well, but also like in touch with tarot and all of that, right? They're in that LA scene. And they're still mocking it. And they're like, this doesn't belong here. And this is goofy. Yoga is an exercise. It's not a religion. Ass backwards, right? Like, can you kind of walk us through just the absurdity of that perspective?
Yeah.
Because I think in my experience, that's so like even among many people I know who do yoga, they couldn't tell you anything about any of the spiritual practices. And to me, it's the reverse. Like yoga without the spirituality is useless. You need to understand the why, right?
I mean, the reason why there's some Christians are against yoga is like because they think it's like worshiping some other deity. Right?
Well, and wouldn't you know, sometimes a broken clock can be right.
And then they might have a point, right? Because of, you know, that there is like certain poses that are like mudras, right? Is that different, you know, that can be considered veneration of a deity, right? That's striking that. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. However, the biggest misconception is that you're not going to meet God in one session.
Oh,
Like,
please talk more
there
about
are
that.
there
Yeah,
are yogis
Please talk about the quick fixes.
like there are yogis who've been in the Himalayas for I don't know how many years. They still haven't had their Kundalini awakening, and I see in the West that, oh, I will give you your Kundalini awakening in 3 sessions. That's not how it works.
Oh, interesting.
And like one of the first things that yoga does is like there are levels to that as well, right? Like one is for beginners that you can teach just asana practice. If you just want that, you can do that.
Mhm.
However, when you go to a bit more advanced levels, yes, you are working with the energies of the deities. However, the thing about Hinduism is that it's like an open religion. It's a way of life, not exactly a religion, right? So even
Can
if
I
you're
throw out the
not,
word
yeah,
pluralistic? Like it's a pluralistic religion in that
yeah,
the center of truth is not fixed on a particular god or entity, but
yeah,
on the greater thinking within that. And the gods are manifestations of that logic. Is that
yeah,
fair to say?
yes,
Because
exactly.
I think most polytheism is really plural theism.
Yeah,
That's a whole Edward Butler. Google him. He's got
yeah,
lots of great
I
books
know
about that on
that.
the Greek side of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
shout
I
out.
love to hear about this from the other side because they are sisters, but they are half sisters.
Yeah.
So I want to hear more about this from you.
So the thing, it's not about worshiping one energy. It's there, like when you progress with your spiritual awakening, right? You have like a loose map. Like, okay, first you go through your awakening, you realize things, right? Similarly with yoga, it is about internal union. The word yoga itself means inner union. It is about you realizing that you are the creator, that you have the essence of God within you, no matter what God is it that you pray to.
The divine spark.
Exactly. And divine has so many names. It has so many names.
Well, that ties
So,
right into this question from the audience. It
yeah.
says, do you think belief in karma requires belief in a god or gods?
You believe in yourself, the universe is already on your side. It doesn't matter what god, goddess, energy you believe in. Eventually, they're all one. And
Which
even,
is
I
the
know,
whole premise.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
It's okay. You were saying something.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
the gist being, kind of talking about this syncretism in the West. This is the HGA, right? Your holy guardian angel,
Yeah.
the daemon from the Greek side of
Yeah.
things. These sister traditions are they are not as disparate as we like to think, right? Like humanity is new, right? Like civilization is new and it has been far more interconnected than I think modern people imagine, right? Like we think the world got small recently, but even going back to your Christology about like the Buddhist Jesus, and if you haven't read the book Siddhartha, you should probably go check it out. It's teeny tiny, easy read. You'll be done in an afternoon. But it presents the idea of like Jesus and Buddha meeting and having this, like we're two prophets of two different worlds, but actually it's really the same thing, which kind of ties back to the anthropological connections between like India and Greece and their shared philosophical origins and all of that. And so I love hearing that echoed here, right? That the yogic tradition is ultimately a way of attaining the HGA, but through the body, where Western tradition is so much about rejecting the physical form and embracing the mental to attain that.
Yeah.
Where have you found kind of in your practice that balance or kind of that more modern third path thought of it's actually in the middle, right? Of you have to do the body work, but you also have to do the mind work. Where are you on that? Because I know you do incorporate a lot of sort of more modern mentalist practices as well, and I would love to hear more about that.
Now, this is a bit of an advanced practice, right? So once you're cool with you're doing your yoga daily, your body's ready, you're tuned into your abilities, because abilities are a byproduct. They're never the end goal, right? Eventually, what will begin to happen is that there are two paths that people often go into. One of it is a mentalist path. It's working only with the mind, which can get very dark if your body's not ready for it. Right. And the second one is the one where you work with your core. It is right in the middle of your solar plexus and your sacral.
I would use the word tandem. I forget what the Chinese word is, but it's
Dantian.
dantian. Yeah,
Yes.
right, so right here.
Yes,
Right.
yes, there. Yes. Because the thing with the other path is that when you go in the mental way, one, if you're already disorganized, it's going to really, really destroy your psyche.
Oh, really?
Yes.
A bit like throwing oil on a fire in an attempt to
Yeah.
put it out.
Interesting.
It's not going to help.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very important that your body and your mind are tuned in to.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word frequency, but there is like this like training and like discipline aspect to it
Yes.
in order for you to be able to like handle what comes in the advanced stages. I don't know. That kind of like reminds me of like spiritual psychosis. That's like something that happens a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And maybe I'm like skipping ahead right now. Let's come back to the topic of spiritual psychosis. But
Yes.
I don't know. I think
We can go ahead.
Yeah, let's follow the
Anahaa
flow.
didn't finish telling us,
right.
answering that question.
Yeah.
I just interjected.
Apologies.
Yeah. It's like 4 of us in here.
It's okay. So this is where Kriya helps, because Kriya is basically a lot of movements, right? Like, I'm not going to ask someone who's never meditated to close their eyes. I cannot expect them to do advanced asanas when they can't even breathe properly.
Right.
It's very interesting because we have about 6 liters of lung capacity, and we're only using half.
Interesting.
So the change in that is the reason why our nervous system is always tense. We're always so tense. We're always so stressed out because we're not breathing properly. Like, if you look at a child, the child breathes so beautifully. When they inhale, their belly kind of goes out. And when
So
they
if you've never
exhale,
been
the
trained
belly goes
musically,
in. Yeah.
right? So
Hello, Yuzuru Go.
it should be your tummy that comes out, not your chest.
Yes.
It should be your belly, not
Belly.
the chest.
Diaphragmatic breathing is what it's called.
If you've never learned music, your teachers failed you.
Yeah, this is what they teach you in singing lessons, right? So
Yes.
they teach you to fill up your diaphragm with air and then let that out slowly as you sing. And this is how you sing. This is how they teach you how to sing. And so it's the same thing with the yoga breathing. You want to do the diaphragmatic breathing just like if you were singing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we want to get weird about it, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, the first 2 seasons is basically about getting magical powers from learning how to breathe correctly, which is not incorrect. So again, anime is reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's when I've had like my first few like psychic experiences was just doing like breathing exercises and getting in tune with my body, like feeling each of my fingers and each of my toes. And it's usually when I'm like really synchronized with my body and very like in tune with all the sensations and stuff that like things come through. I won't say what, but
there's a reason for that. There's actually a reason for that, because even in Chinese medicine, right, there is a thing where your nervous system is connected to your energy channels. Right? So when your nervous system is absolutely relaxed, the energy has so much space to flow. And when that energy begins to flow, you are in tune with your body. The more in tune you are with your body, the more in tune you are with the universe. So everything just opens up. This is why your body is very much connected to the universe. Like, no matter how much people say that it's not, it is. It is very important. Like, even in Reiki, right? Even in Reiki, when we have different energy bodies, when we work with that, the first is the physical body as well. There's mental, emotional, physical body is very much specified. And yet we dismiss the physical body and think, oh, if I work with the energy bodies, it's going to be easier. You work your way from the root to the top, then the top from the bottom is a byproduct.
Put like a beat to this and I'll dance to it in the club. Like, you have no idea how hard it is to sit in a room of Western occultists and be like, no, your body is not a prison. No, it's not an illusion. No, it's not a fucking
Yeah,
trap.
yeah. Everyone's on this Gnostic thing. Yeah.
It is the
Yeah.
fulcrum by which you work all magic you could ever. It is the only reason that your spirit and mind can even exist. It is the centerpiece of your being. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you spit on it? Ugh, fucking Gnostics. Just because you want to go into the desert and worship a rat does not mean you need to tell the rest of us that we're supposed to be sad about existing. We like dancing with Lord Shiva. Okay, fuck you, hoes. I meant to flip you off, but I like you all, so I suddenly went with these fingers. I'm so sorry. You have no idea how wonderful this is to hear out of someone else's mouth, because I feel like I've been beating this drum alone for a long time. Like,
Actually, yeah, Anahaa, like almost everything you're saying are like centerpieces of the show. It's like so much of our talking points on how like the divine spark is within you. How you have to really be in tune with your body in order to access your abilities and stuff.
Yeah. And you can like, the body keeps like a tally, right? And if you've got it manifests, there's like the psychic injuries or magic injuries or anything like that shows up as physical problems, we've all had experiences with that, I imagine. Someone says our bodies are so incredible. The body is the gateway, somebody else says.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of seeing it, because it is, right? Like, I think it was Carl Sagan that said that there's this beautiful thing, like there's this ion that is present in your heart that is responsible for like extracting oxygen out of air, right, that we breathe in. That ion is only found in supernovas. It is not found on Earth. Like, how much more scientific proof you need to believe that you are literally the universe? Like, your body is a manifestation of the universe. I don't think it can get any more deeper than that.
So let's unpack that thought a little bit in terms of,
because that's what I wanted to say. Sorry to interrupt you, Cooper, but there's like this. I think what you're saying touches on this kind of schizophrenia in like Western occultism, where like Hermeticism talks about this idea of as above, so below, right? And microcosm, macrocosm. Right, that the human is the microcosm of the universe, macrocosm. But then there's also, this Gnostic element that we were talking about, where it's like, the creator of the physical world is this evil being, and this is because it's an imperfect world. And so it seems that seems to be a schism in the West, where it's like, yes, the spiritual world is real, but we can't trust all of it. Some of it's bad, not all of it's good. Right. Whereas, and it's it's kind of ironic that it's a monotheistic religion, whereas, kind of a polytheistic religion has more, everything is one, everything back to one, there's no sense of, because there's this idea in the West with the Christianity that the God, that, that somehow darkness is an aberration of the light, or that it's not ontologically following from God, because God is just good, right? And that whereas there's not that in the East, there's like no hang up about conceptualizing a God as being able to manifest both creation and destruction.
I think it's this I'm gonna tap on this point with Hinduism, because when we are taught about it, right, we are told that even God makes mistakes.
Okay.
Even
very
gods
important
get angry.
part.
Yeah, that's not something that is taught in the Christianity or that is
because I noticed that, because in this thing we are told that, okay, even if the world does not accept you, it doesn't mean that the divine is going to reject you. Like, it's going to give you a chance to better yourself, but your actions are going to have their consequences. Because every time we've heard stories of God reincarnating, even that particular being or that particular energy had to go through their consequences. No one is above the laws of the universe. Even if you may cheat in the physical, at a spiritual level, no one is above it. But they mistook that for karma. That is the only difference. And when we talk about the part where, okay, as above, so below, as without, so within, right? That only happens when you've purified yourself to a certain degree. Until and unless you've not purified yourself, that reflection is not going to happen, because you are still carrying a lot of baggage, right? You are carrying baggage, and the world is not. This is where teachings about manifestation go wrong. Because what they're trying
to
to
interrupt you. I'm just having a
what they're
moment. I'm
trying
sorry.
to tell you is that the world is only going to reflect you after you purified your own consciousness, after you worked on yourself. You are in tune with the frequency that is meant for you, then the world is going to reflect you. Like, that is the teaching of alchemy, right?
Interesting.
I'm having a John Hamm moment right now. Like, this is so great for me. It's almost like for 3,000 years it's been in the goddamn books. If you lazy asses could bother to fucking read, you would have known the most basic of basic shit you learned 3,000 years ago.
Wow. Bravo, Cooper. Bravo.
That was
I need to also
beautiful.
understand that I am so happy right now.
Yeah, he's crying. He's crying. You can cry, Anahaa. Thank you.
I'm so goddamn tired of hearing, like, oh, the truth lies in your mind. Like, no, it doesn't. What are you talking about?
There are ways around it.
Well, that's really interesting, because I think that is such a common. I mean, I'm hearing that for the first time. I think intuitively I could have had a little sense of it, but hearing you say that, manifestation is like doesn't quite work because you have to essentially be work through your own issues or work through whatever shit you're carrying around, and once you're purified, that's when you are in tune with the frequency that is in your highest good, and at that point it's like manifestation comes easily. Is that kind of your
the
point?
thing is that I don't necessarily think purification is necessary, as long as you are true to yourself, right?
Yes,
if you are like a dark, corrupt person, right, and like just like evil, right, then being true to that is going to increase your manifestation powers.
Donald Trump.
Purifying yourself is not going to help, right? So
I mean, purification
it's more about
in
aligning
like
our mental state with your true nature than it is purification, right?
Yes, that exactly. That is how you could also put it as, like, when we talk about purification, it's more like you realizing that, wait, I am this person. This is what we call it as self-concept, right? So when you know who you really are, it's easier for you to know what you want and what you don't want. You have that clarity. And universe doesn't operate on good or bad. It's not going to be like, oh, you're a bad person, I'm not going to give you what you want. That's not how it works. You're just going to get whatever is it that you ask for if you stay true to who you are. And yes, you're going to have people who are going to tell you lots of other things. But when you're true to yourself, all of that is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so interesting because it kind of, so the concept of tapping into your divine spark and getting in touch with your HGA, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. What I'm hearing you say is like kind of adding this additional concept on top of it, which is that in order for you to, have access to your divine spark or connect with your higher self, you have to be first true to yourself and you have to be authentic. Is that kind of in line with what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
I would only challenge that a little bit, Hope, in that is also what the Western tradition says. that has been lost in the New Age, where the New Age is, you just have to sit there with this crystal, and if you put it up your chula and it's the full moon, you'll be able to manifest God.
Wait, sorry,
And like,
what's chula?
you know what your chula, you know what your chula is.
I just wanted you to say it out loud.
It is what girls have and boys don't. And I think so much about Gwyneth Paltrow, right? Like, and I do believe that she believes in her, but I don't know why anyone else does. And I think it's a lot of that very new agey, like, if I believe it hard enough, it'll work, right? If I think about this hard enough, if I work.
If I
in the
write
West,
it down 1,000 times, it'll happen.
Right. And so like I would talk about it as losing innocence, right? You can no longer pretend I don't know who I am, that I don't know that I am also a piece of shit, that I also hurt things to exist, that I consume so that I can take up space. Once you make peace with the fullness of your existence, with the fact that you have this potential for good, you necessitate evil, and which of those you feed defines yourself. That is at the center of every mystical tradition I have ever touched, whether we're talking about the broad Aryan Vedic traditions, or we're looking at the East Asian traditions, we're looking at North African or South African traditions, North, South American, however you want to split them up. Like the Algonquin peoples are probably the one I'm more familiar with, but even they talk about, like, that's the whole purpose of the, oh gosh, what do they call it? It's not walkabout. Walkabout's the Aborigines in Australia, but it's you go out and you fast for a really long time and you commune with your spirit guide, which is this entity that at once tells you, no, you need to go hunt and feed, and I will help you kill this creature so that you can consume and eat, because you need to do that or you will die. But also, here is how you are supposed to serve the forest and nature and work within that ecosystem. Like, that is the mystic's journey, no matter where they are or who they are or what culture they're in, because that is the magic, right? What I've often loved about particularly Hinduism, and I've had a great deal of fortune in being a Western occultist who had a lot of Hindu teachers, where the big emphasis was on the form doesn't matter. The idea which the form represents is what you're really supposed to focus on. And I'm curious, where do you find, let's broad, big step back, broad strokes, the ecosystem of magic. Where do you find us on that sort of pendulum swing of intense religiosity and the focus on tradition and cultivating that, to this sort of needing to reform that and to break those down and maybe say what was, but what will be must be something different. I struggle with that. I know in Western occultism, we tend to be, everybody wants to bring in something new, right? We want to get rid of the old and we're going to bring in the new truth. Typically in the Eastern traditions, it's the opposite, right? We're going to restore the old truth and get rid of the new stuff because it's wrong.
That's where both of them get messed up. Because
keep talking.
We love the thing is that when you are working with a guide, when you're working with a teacher, right? Their journey with you is for a limited time. The whole point is for them to help you realize that, wait, you can also be your own guide.
Interesting.
You don't have to be so dependent on the teacher for your entire life. Like, a teacher has failed you if you cannot even take a single step without them, if they're not around.
Yes.
Yeah, my first teacher said that a good teacher is never afraid to leave his student in a position where he could fail.
Yeah.
Right? Because, good teacher knows that even if the student fails, he will learn something, because failure is really just an opportunity to learn. Right? Like, it's only really a failure if you waste the lesson that comes with the failure. Right? If you don't learn the lesson that the failure can teach you, that's the only true failure. Right? This was my first kind of spiritual teacher taught me, and I feel like it's true. I don't know. But I think what you were talking about knowing that there's, you know, these two sides to you, like in a lot of the Tibetan Buddhist gurus will, even the people that are vegetarian, for example, they'll still have some vice that ties them to the physical world. A lot of times it's like smoking tobacco or something like that they'll do when they're doing their ritualistic practice. They'll engage in this as like a means of tethering them to the material world, right?
Oh,
and so,
interesting.
you know,
It's
I don't know if
very
people are familiar
difficult
with-
to stay in the physical world once you reach a certain level.
Oh.
It is extremely difficult because then the thing is, then you are just like, there's no point in me living over here, right? And I know a lot of people go through that. This is where the disconnect happens. This is where people are like, wait, I am not my body. I am not this. I'm going to renounce everything and go. But in our scriptures in Hinduism, we're told that until your roles are not fulfilled, you are not allowed to renounce.
Okay.
You need to learn to contribute to the society. You need to learn to, learn to how to be with your family. You need to either build a family or do something for the community. Learn to materialize the spiritual energy into the physical one and then go help the people. But it doesn't mean that you are doing it, right? It doesn't mean that, wait, I am the one who's doing it. It is you're being used to do it. So, it's better if you stay grounded. Otherwise, you're screwed.
Right. No, that's really interesting. Because that's something that like I have wondered myself is once you become a monk or a yogi, that type of variety, regardless of what tradition, you're in, I always wonder to myself, like, well, what happens once you become like enlightened or you ascend? Like why would you want to stay here? That's something that I've like wondered myself. And so it's interesting to hear, like, especially from your side, that like Tibetan monks have like not maybe a certain tradition, but they'll have like a vice that keeps them
some of the
grounded.
gurus do, yeah. They'll smoke tobacco or
or they'll drink alcohol or
drink
they'll,
alcohol.
yeah,
Having
there's a
partied
lot,
with
but it doesn't
monks.
affect them though. It doesn't actually do anything to them.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I lived in Japan for a few years, and I may or may not have, gotten fucked up with monks a couple times. And I'm a big boy, right? Like 6'1", 220.
Built like a rugby
Norwegian.
player.
Yeah, like I can handle my drinks. And like there's a monk who I know hasn't eaten anything but soybeans and carrots for the last like year and a half. She's just throwing the shochu back, and I'm like, I cannot compete with you, my man. I'm done. It's so cool to see, and it is fun to like bum a menthol off a monk at a bar, like, and it feels so counterintuitive to the priest is supposed to be perfect and above everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, a Catholic priest is supposed to deny their sexual desire, even, right? Like, completely reject everything. And that makes them superhuman. Whereas there's this moment of interaction of shared humanity that typically opens the discourse to, and here's why, right? Like, I'm a monk that smokes. You can approach the Buddha a little bit more easily than you think you could, right? There's that underlying message. It's a little bit youth pastory, but I'm going to take my hat off because it's glitching this out really hard. But I'm really interested. We've hammered away, I think, at the point of syncretism can go wrong pretty easily, but where does it go right? Where have you found, whether it's the last couple centuries of globalism or more ancient even, where do you find, there is this time to mix these traditions, and what does that look like for you?
I think that's what Jung did, right? That's what Carl Jung did. He went to all these different places. He learned these different traditions, and then he just mashed them all up. He's like, wait. That's how he did it. That's why
Where
I
you-
incorporate a lot of his work. Yes, sorry.
No, perfect. I was just going to say, so in terms of what you incorporate from Jung's philosophies, and there's a lot in that, right? Where particularly do you look at? I know you talk a lot about hypnosis work, which I know he's very interested in the subconscious and the collective unconsciousness and their engagement. Where do you pull into that? And I know, the last 100 years or so, Jungian philosophy has also evolved quite radically. What's his name? Carl Abramson? I'm so sorry. You're Swedish and bald, and you have a really pretty wife who has a huge, I don't know if it's big or just great hair, huge and red. I can't remember the names. They're great Jungian psychoanalysts who are also magicians. But I'm really curious where you've kind of landed on that, because I'm a little bit bored with the Germans doing occultism in the name of Jungian philosophy approach, because I think it's a little tried and true. So I'm curious where you've landed on that.
On the hypnosis part, or
Sure. Yeah, let's start with the hypnosis part, because I think the audience might not even know what that is.
Hypnosis actually works so easily because it works directly with your subconscious mind, right?
And so a lot of like chaos magic, right? Postmodern Western occultism is focused on this idea of self-hypnotism, where a lot of people want to pull the spiritual element out of it and try and remain with their, I don't know, tech bro-y, I do ayahuasca, but I don't believe in God. However they manage to balance those two thoughts.
Right.
I've heard a lot of that toward Western magic. It's like, well, it's really this philosophical exercise. And particularly with the sort of Jungian archetypes and things like that. Where have you come on that? And where do you see hypnosis as a positive in the spiritual? I've always heard about it, or I often hear about it, I should say, as a negative, right? That entering a hypnotic state, whether it's a self-hypnosis or someone else, tends to be represented as a very vulnerable, a very negative. Can you talk to that a little bit and what that looks like in your practice?
So the thing with hypnosis is that no one has control over you but yourself, right? You're not losing your conscious, you're not losing any control. It's almost like entering a meditative state and someone is guiding you to your subconscious mind. But we are trained in a way to make sure that you don't lose yourself.
Okay.
But in my hypnosis sessions, I also merge them with Reiki energy, right? So you are taken care of energetically, and you are also taken
There's a
care
lot
of
of
as levels. If you're
feedback
like,
in the audio, FYI. Damn, I hope that's not been the...
Has that been the entire time?
It's been a minute. Yeah. We're okay, though.
I
We'll keep
haven't
going.
heard it.
Okay, let me mute. Maybe mute ourselves. Okay.
is this proper or is it from my end? I don't know. I'm using my phone.
If you have this on speakerphone, I think it might be picking up the outputs.
Yes, it could be that. But I've turned on echo cancellation.
Yeah, I think it might be on our end. Let me see what I can do in the settings. But let's kind of continue. We should be canceling the echo here too.
Okay.
Oh, Alex left us.
Okay. I think it's fine. I think we're good. Alex.
It would still sound... I was listening to the stream in the other room. It sounds terrible.
Oh, you can still hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Wait, were we supposed to have headphones? I mean...
No, we haven't done that before.
Yeah, we haven't done that
No.
Just
Okay.
as an aside, you should wear headphones if you're recording. For YouTube in particular.
Yeah, I haven't done it before, but it's probably good practice.
It's usually not an issue, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do that before.
Or here. I have AirPods. Why don't we just each wear one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Here, this.
Because it actually, I do think it is YouTube because Anahaa had herself muted.
Okay. Cool. Let me turn this.
All right. Well, we'll get that fixed in a second here. Thanks, guys, for pointing that out. In the meantime, I'll dance seductively. What are you drinking, Cooper? Thank you for asking. This is what I like to drink every Friday, which is a mixture of strawberries, lime juice, sugar, tequila, and ice. What some people, and triple sec, and some people might call it a margarita, strawberry version. And 10 out of 10 would recommend. You can tell the second version I made is not as strawberry-y, but it's still delicious.
Do you make it each time you're done, or do you have like a picture of it?
I mix it because it makes me mad because I can't drink a whole pitcher at once. I'm not like that crazy of an alcoholic. So I do.
Like a rugby player.
Can you guys?
I am built like a rugby. Okay, so
Can
again,
you hear both me and Hope now that we've switched microphones.
Is it better?
I think we should be good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Hopefully, someone in the chat can affirm. But yeah, that sounds like a great cocktail, Cooper.
It does sound really great.
We're just drinking.
We're just drinking straight up tequila. Like the
You are degenerate.
I know.
Crazy.
That's good though. It's good tequila. It's Casamigos.
That's not that good to drink without like limes or anything. Like
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Well, our guest it's like 8 in the morning for you right now, right?
I know. Are you drinking? Do you drink coffee, Anahaa?
No, I avoid. I don't actually enjoy coffee so much for some reason. Like my body's just fucking weird.
Not weird.
It's also because like
coffee.
It's so interesting how I've never enjoyed going for diets and anything. Like I've always been very intuitive with what I eat. Because when you're doing your practices regularly and when you're like doing a lot of healings, certain things you just cannot consume.
Okay, the chat is saying
even though it might
sound
not
is good now. So awesome. Thank you guys for giving the feedback. I'm glad that we fixed the audio issues. Apparently it wasn't like that the whole time. It had just been like that for a few minutes. So we've recovered from that.
If you want a nerdy technical explanation, it's because it's two people are working on one microphone, and so it can't tell the difference between an echo and the two of you talking at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Noted. So what were we talking about before this?
We had kind of teed up.
We were talking about Jung and hypnosis. Now, one thing I wanted to say about hypnosis is that there's this attorney that I know in town. As anyone may know, I'm a lawyer, and this attorney I've run into, she is this hypnosis evangelist. She's always trying to convince people about hypnosis. Sounds great. She says she's quit smoking using hypnosis. She's been able to improve how good she is at trial, and she's made more money using hypnosis. She's big into hypnosis. And she's been trying to convince me to do it for years. I have kind of done the self-hypnosis thing, and I have gone once to a hypnotist. But I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about again recently. And so, it was one of the things I wanted to ask you about on the show, about what role hypnotism plays in the practice and how it works with because you were talking about this particular type of yoga. I'm sorry if I mispronounced. How did you pronounce it? Kriya yoga? Yeah. Because you integrate these two. So I was wondering how hypnotism fits in.
So with Kriya yoga, right, you are preparing the body, you're preparing the mind. Right, because the mind has this beautiful tendency of coming up with stories and assumptions, and it can create such beautiful films. Like if I give you one negative thought, you will create a whole movie out of it. right? So what Kriya does is, with the help of breath work and everything, we stabilize you first. Then you go into hypnosis. So whatever is it that you are tapping into, whatever is not created from the mind itself. It is something that was present and is just resurfacing. And it's not necessary that you need
Interesting.
to go to someone for it, right? It's almost like you're taking a journey deep within your subconscious mind, parts of you that you never thought were there.
I was going to
But
say, this
what
sounds
if-
very Jungian of trying to surface the symbols to then assign meaning rather than the opposite. That's really interesting. Where do you as the practitioner come into this?
I guide people into it because some things are very traumatizing. The brain has this tendency to block up very traumatizing experiences, right? So you're like, I don't know why I can't fall in love or why I can't do this or that. Turns out when you were 5 years old, something really terrible happened to you and your mind blocked it out. You know something happened, but you just don't know what exactly. Right.
Interesting. Okay. So very similar to like Reich and his thoughts about orgone energy and muscles trapping sort of that spiritual energy in the body.
Yeah.
Because I know he touched on Jung. I don't know how great his thoughts were on Jung itself, but very interesting to see that the theme echoing of the body trapping that. So when you go through a hypnotic session, what does that look like? I probably, like most people, have the experience of like maybe a stage magician doing hypnosis or something like that. A very different experience than what you're offering. What does that look like? You know, if I were your patient or your client, I don't know what word you'd want to use. Where would that begin and what would that look like? You know, I know you kind of gave us the broader steps, but let's say I booked you for a consultation. Kind of where does that start and where does that end? I'm really curious about that process because I think people would be surprised.
Oh, she just left.
Oh, she's back.
Wait, she's back.
She's back.
Let's add her.
I'm so sorry. That question must have been just too much, huh? Can you hear us? Are you back or?
We cannot hear you.
No.
We can't hear her.
Yes. Hello.
Oh,
There we go.
she is.
There we go.
Why can't I hear you guys?
Can you hear us?
Oh no, we can hear you finally.
We can hear you, but you can't hear us. Can you hear us now?
I can't hear you guys. Hold up.
Oh my God.
Interesting. Isn't it Mercury in retrograde as well?
Well, Mercury just entered its shadow period
I can't hear you
before
guys.
retrograde. So it got to the degree that it's going to be stationing direct.
It's also eclipse
Can you guys
season,
try
so.
speaking something?
Yeah.
We are trying to
My
talk.
name is
If you
Cooper.
can't, this is so ridiculous.
And I'm super.
This sucks.
Thanks
Yes.
for asking.
I can hear.
Oh, you can hear.
It's
Great.
because Cooper started singing. That's what fixed it. Thank you, Cooper.
You're welcome. I had to unlock my Disney princess powers. I didn't think I would need it on this call, but
So hypnotism.
hold on,
I
10
think
seconds.
hypnosis
Let's
is-
go back into Cooper lore.
So,
Do you know the horrible story about the mean lady who told me that my singing was awful and that I should serve God in another way?
What?
What?
she told you not to quit your day job, huh?
No, she straight up said, "Quit the choir, bitch." Like so very little Cooper, very much love Jesus and God. But I was like, I'm gonna sing in the choir, and like I'm gonna sing with all of my heart because God will hear me and He will love that. Like clearly, turns out God might have loved it, but the choir director was like, "Cooper, I hear the passion in your voice, and I know your love for the Lord is true, but I think maybe He called you to serve in another way." And I was like, you know what? You're right. Singing is beneath me. I should be on the main stage. Like priesthood is clearly what I'm for.
Yeah, you know what?
It wasn't until my mid-20s when I recounted this story to someone where they were like, "No, Coop, she was saying that you suck at singing." And so the fact that my Disney princess powers brought you back to us is really healing for me, and I want to thank you for that.
Yay!
because apparently my
also, like-
horrible singing voice is helpful. It's a horrible fucking thing to say to a 7-year-old. For the
Also, like,
record.
how-
It is. You're
but
just
also,
7. Your voice
Cooper.
hasn't even matured yet.
Yeah. Also, like, how bad could you have been that she kicked you out of the
Oh,
out of
really
the
bad.
choir?
She's right. It was. I had it. We did. So I played. I didn't learn how to breathe from my diaphragm from singing. I learned how to breathe from my diaphragm from playing instruments. And we did one song in our band that required us to sing, and my band director was like, "Coop, just mouth it. Like
Just
you
mouth it.
cannot. You are an amazing dancer, but you cannot. This is not for you."
Interesting.
And it wasn't until like my early 30s that I was finding like, oh, if I just sing in a really, really low register, then it kind of sounds nice as opposed to any other form of how I speak. But my natural speaking voice is significantly higher than my singing voice. So if you want me to sing like Silent Night, great. Any other song? Can't do
That's
it.
that's the one song you can sing.
No, actually, all of Panic at the
What?
Disco's album. So if I go to karaoke, it's going to be a lot of Panic at the Disco. It's going to be.
He goes to karaoke and he sings Silent Night. And we don't hear from him the rest of the night.
Ave Maria. Can you imagine? Like I just
just
kill
say
everyone.
Cooper.
No,
They got like 2 hands in the microphone.
you know I'm passionate. You know I'm passionate in karaoke. It's eyes closed. I'm dancing. It's spiritual. I got cast the lead in a lot of musicals where they lip synced me because I can't sing, but I can dance like nobody's fucking business. I'm an amazing lead act. Like I have the charisma. I just cannot sing. I am a baritone indeed, and I played baritone and trombone, which is the most bisexual instrument ever, which is why I was better at baritone. But anyway, I've completely derailed this entire episode, and I'm so sorry.
It makes
but
sense. 'Cause
I'm really happy.
you know,
that my
it's so
singing
interesting that
helped.
you're talking about music. You're talking about singing because I also used to be a performer when I was a kid. Right, like I used to sing, I used to act, I used to dance, I used to model, I used to do everything, and then I just stopped. And now I started singing again. Like it's been like last year Feb is when I started like, you know, getting a bit serious about it. So yeah, it's very interesting how singing is coming up again and again and again.
Yeah, we started out the episode talking about singing. And I don't know, I think there's something about singing that is inherently spiritual. Like, you know, when you sing and you talk in rhymes, like your ability to like ad lib and channel is increased. Like if you start singing a tune and then you'll be able to freestyle and come up with things that rhyme and you'll just kind of pick it up, right? And so there's something about the sing song, like songs like, you know, and that's why, like, you know, there's all the stories about the magicians invoking the demons that sing to them, you know, things like this. Like there's something about spiritual forces and singing and channeling and there's something there. I don't know. There's some connection.
It's so interesting you bring this. Sorry.
Oh no! Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's so interesting that you bring this up because lately I was just telling this to a very close friend of mine. Like I've not actually told this to anyone else, but well, whenever you go into a state of singing, right? Whenever you're singing, if you really tap into that flow state, that is similar to hypnosis.
Right.
Interesting.
It's
similar to hypnosis.
I've heard this argument before.
Or like performing, right? You can get it. It's kind of like that same kind of flow state, and there's something about flow state where you enter into a hypnosis.
So when I first kind of learned how to hypnotize myself in like my early 20s, I would hypnotize myself and then play music. And I had this kind of like one-man show, and I would just kind of like get into this flow state and have this music, and then just kind of, it was repetitive, but I would make it all up on the spot. And you know, I think there's something to be said for I don't know, like channeling, right? And like, I don't know, like people, when people, even like something like freestyle rapping, you can see it as the same
Yeah.
thing. Cause like people just like get into, you know, that it just comes to them in the moment, right? You know that they are not, and you can see it on their face when you watch them do it, right? And they can't believe that they're saying something so cool, you know? It's like channeling.
Alex Harper, a one-man show. First of all,
It was
I will
terrible.
write this show.
I was
No,
awful.
I'm
I was
first.
so
I
bad.
don't. I will absolutely not cast you as you. That's crazy.
But it's a show about you.
Yeah. You will be lucky to be in the audience and featured in the car.
Is this show about me?
It could be. I'm open to that idea of casting an Indian woman to play Alex.
No,
I
mean,
want
you
to
should be in the
write.
audience saying that. Is this shit about me?
Because Alex Harper, a one-man show, I want it to be 18 actors all playing the same character, and it's not at all clear to the audience at any point that they're playing the same character. I want them to interact with each other.
Well, that would be like getting to know me and knowing me.
That's what I'm saying. I will write
He's a
this
Gemini,
out.
by the way.
Let's collaborate. Yeah, I'm open to this. I am a great writer. Okay-ish actor, but great writer.
All right, so I mean, you wanted to talk about astrology at one point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's shifting gears, but we haven't been able to crack into the hypnotism. That is, we've tried to go at it a few times, but we've gotten distracted from that. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe it wants to stay hidden for a while.
Yeah, maybe it wants to stay hidden.
I was going to say, I have an amusing story about hypnotism where I, yada, 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 my university hired a hypnotist. And I went up on the show. And speaking to your point, right, of it was after that I was kind of more open to the idea of like, okay, maybe I would be open to a hypnotic session, because previously I'd been very afraid of the idea. And so I go up on the stage and he's like, do you know the lyrics to this Lady Gaga song? And I was like, yeah, I do. I did not know. This was 2011 for the record. I'm like, I don't know. True Cooper, I don't fucking know. But what I do know is I can put on a show. So I'll make it work. Unfortunately for everyone, he turned my mic way up thinking that I actually knew the lyrics. And so I was like hypnotized. But my recollection of that experience is so much of like, I would describe it more as being uninhibited, where I said, yes, I know the words because I don't care. I'm going to put on a show. Like, I'm going to have fun. I want to be on stage is really what I want. And they turned my mic down and just let me go crazy and rile up the crowd. But, it was really a fascinating experience of like engaging with my subconscious of like, oh no, there is a bit of me who is a bullshit artist, who is throw him up there, tell him what to say, and he'll say it. And it was really great to embrace that at 19 years old and touch hypnosis. So I'm curious, how much of when you do engage in hypnosis with your clients, how much of it is take everything that you experience directly true and seriously versus here's what happened. Let's engage with that experience and what does that mean? Where do you approach
find
that?
the line? So this is why we're trained, right? Like I trained for 1.5 years. We are able to pick up on a lot of cues. When someone is making something up, you just know it.
So because what kind of gives it away? If you can, I'm obviously there's a year and a half of training in there, so but kind of broad strokes, what sort of gives it away?
It just does. You just know, because like it's body language. It's the way that they're breathing. It's the way that their eye is moving. You can just tell a lot, right? Because we are taught how to read body cues very beautifully, and even if they are bullshitting us, it's not their fault.
So I what do you mean by that? Is it that
they're trying to
The
protect
sort of
themselves.
Mhm. So kind of a
this-
Freudian
yeah.
self-defense mechanism kind of thing?
Yes. And when that happens, this is why like sessions are interactive, right? They're not just someone guiding you. It's not a meditation. There is an active conversation that goes. And if I feel like, okay, the person is not completely trusting me, then I was like, okay, cool. Then there are other techniques, there are other inducers, there are other ways in which we push them a bit more deeper, but very gently.
So how does that differ then from maybe where we would talk about CBT or like, cognitive behavioral therapy, where the focus is so much on confronting the emotion, of confronting the discomfort, of almost a psychic conflict, where it seems like you're offering more of a stage on which that thought can play out, and then the person reacts to that play. Is that fair?
I mean, it really depends, right? It depends from person to person. So far, I've only had it once. However, because we are aware that, okay, it's a defense mechanism, maybe they're not really ready for it.
Right.
Yeah. And when they're not ready, a lot of people want to do past life regressions, but they're not really ready to confront their own past first. So even when I do past life regressions, I'm like, no, that will be the second or third session. The first 2 sessions, we're going to work with your actual emotional issues. And I picked this up when I started doing past life regressions, right? I picked this up. I was like, you cannot do this without facing certain issues in your current life.
I'm so fascinated by that. Because
I have a quick question. So in regards to like past life regressions and whatnot, what's your take on the ones on YouTube where you kind of do it yourself, but you're guided by some person who is doing some narrative on a YouTube video? Because I done a couple of those and I did see things, but I did come out of it kind of like, was I just
questioning?
Was I just creating a story in my mind that is taking pieces of my own memories and whatever things I had just taken in that and had stuck in my psyche? Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, definitely. Because like you need to be prepared, right? It's very intensive. There's a lot of confrontation that happens when you do hypnosis, when you do your past life. Because now you're seeing that, wait, even you could have potentially been a terrible person.
Yeah.
I have a million questions about past life regression, and I know that we didn't approach you to talk about this, but I have been told by a number of people, and probably in my own practice, that probably this is my first go around.
Oh, interesting.
What do you do with folks who have that kind of experience? What does that look like? And in terms of like, have you ever had someone approach you for a regression and you're like, no, you're an incessant. Like, isn't that interesting? I would be so curious about what your advice would be to someone in that position. I've heard it from a number of practitioners. I'm certainly not going to ask you to read me off the cuff. But I am interested in that idea, and I know so little about this world that I don't have an opinion.
No, it does happen, whenever someone who doesn't really have a past life, all they see is it's blank. It's not black, it's not white, it's just blank.
Interesting.
Right?
That's a good way to describe it. Because it's not sad at all.
Yeah, it's not sad. And when that happens, instead of that, we end up redirecting them into a journey where we're like, okay, what exactly are you here to experience, right? So it's like we're tapping directly into the soul, and we're like, okay, you're here to experience this. What lessons are you uncovering through that? And then what tools will you need? So, maybe after that, you end up clarity on your future more than your past. But I mean, you're in the middle of the session. I cannot wake the person up. So
In my past life regressions, there's, I don't know, I've seen some like fucking gnarly shit. And it's like a lot of like, I don't know. It's like a lot of things that it's like me doing stuff that most people wouldn't want to say, you know, like I feel like, I don't know, that's what I wonder is like a lot of people, like their past life is always something like that makes them look good, right? It makes them
Yeah,
seem like cool.
thankfully I've not had that. Thankfully I've had
Mine have always made me seem like really horrible. So yeah. I don't know what that means.
No, I had a past life regression where I was a man who was had a family but left the family in pursuit of like a treasure or like knowledge or something. But again, like I'm not sure like if I just made that up in my head, you know, at the same time.
Yeah.
And so a part of me wonders like if like because I was ready for it. I wasn't necessarily like, I don't think I had any defense mechanisms up, but I do wonder if like there was some preparation that I had to do leading into it in order for me to, because I do have like a very strong imagination, which I think also lends itself to me being like maybe intuitive and whatnot, but
shout out to Occult Hours.
Hi, Occult Hours.
Dabby, a prior guest. If you have not seen their episode, please go check it out. Great talk.
Yeah, she was on, I think, as our second.
Yeah, episode 2.
Second guest, yeah. Episode 2. It was really good. It's about initiations. Sorry, Anahaa. Please continue.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's all fine. No, yeah, this is where you get intuitive. This is why I enjoy Jung more than Freud, because Jung was like, you know, if you're rooted in yourself, right, it comes back to your self-concept. If you're rooted in yourself, if your root energy is so strong, you will be able to differentiate if it is your mind playing tricks or if it is actually your intuition. This is why we talk a lot about strengthening the root. Like most of my work has a lot to do with the lower energy channels for a reason. Because I don't care how overactive or active your third eye is. If your root is not strong, how are you providing for yourself? How are you paying your bills? How are you going to help the community? Like you're here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So this is why when your root is strong,
shake your asshole to the front.
Shake your asshole.
I mean, so it is important to have. I mean, that's often where a lot of the disruption happens is in the lower chakra and then specifically, root sacral chakra.
Well, and that's why spiritual psychosis is something that you see like often in the occult.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about that. Let's talk about that now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people, you know, we've all seen it, right? Someone starts crashing out on the timeline, and you know, it's like they're subtweeting. And, yeah. It's like, you know, people think they're out to get them, and it's weird because there is a lot of people actually that are out to get you, right?
Yeah.
But then you trip yourself out about it too much, and you end up frying your own brain, and it's a sad situation.
Just use that. So what you can do is whenever you have something like that, or anyone who's watching and thinks that there's someone out there to get you, learn how to transmute that energy, learn how to, you know, like alter the frequency using the power that you have within you. So the moment someone is, even if they are sending you evil eye, whatever the fuck they're sending that to you, that gets converted into money, into resources that you can use to help yourself and help others. That is the basis of alchemy. So even if you think someone's out there to get you, you can just use that to your advantage.
I have recently implemented a kind of spell or protocol like that in my practice, and the most immediate, as soon as I did it, the result was that I got offered a different part-time contract that was like the same amount of money, but like 1/4 of the amount of time commitment. So opened up, and which is exactly what I wanted. You know, I didn't want more money for the part-time thing. I wanted the part-time thing so that I could do my private businesses on the side and like
Yeah.
I wanted more time freed up because I can make more money doing other things. So, yeah, it's a good way of going about it, to like try and free up blocks or transmute that energy. But it can also be tricky, because sometimes it's not just, it goes beyond evil eye, like how do you, if you've got a client, let's say you've got a client and they've got someone that has, like they're involved in magic already, right? And they may have been in some kind of interaction with people, like they involved in hexing or cursing someone else, or someone else has hexed or cursed them, right? Or they've done it to someone else and then it's reversed back on them, right? These types of situations, how do you deal with those in your practice?
Well, one of the most interesting things about this is that these things have been done on me ever since I was a kid, right? So I was born because there was a lady that had cursed the entire family, and then, oh shit, after 2 weeks I'm born, so everyone blamed it on me. It's a very interesting way to go about it. And after that, the attacks began. Like, you're just a child. You're literally just born, and there are people out there to get you, right? So
And the malefic is real.
I had found that we used to find really random things in my room, like really random things.
Objects or creatures,
objects, everything, weird symbols. Then, I mean, now that it took me some time, because like when you're a kid, you have no idea about these things, right? And my grandmom used to like take a bit of my hair and then weave it into something. I was like, I've seen all of that happen to me, but yet it did not affect me for some reason. So most of my life has been figuring out why it did not affect me. It is because I knew transmutation naturally. Because I've always had a strong root, right? Even if I, let's just say, even if I become homeless, which I did become homeless for a while. And I still had people giving me food. I still had a place to sleep. I still had my basic requirements met.
So when you talk about that concept of transmutation, I think particularly like in a Western alchemy is so focused on this idea of like perfecting the self as opposed to altering circumstances. And my own magical education was much more on the side of altering circumstances, which it sounds like your own perspective would align with. So when you talk about yourself possessing this innate alchemist ability, what are you transmuting? Is it this sort of the, I think about like Parcellus, right? Of I'm trying to attain the perfect self, that sort of Gnostic self-manifestation. But my education in alchemy was much more along probably like the Taoist sense of like, no, it's about taking what you have and making the most of it. What is the difference there? And how have you found, whichever your approach is, to be successful? Because obviously going from that kind of intense state that you're talking about to where you are now and to hopefully where you will be, that is a deep magical exercise. And I'm really curious about how you view that.
No, it's like I knew my purpose ever since I was a kid. Like, you just know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Natural magicians, rise up.
Yeah.
And then you just know that, wait, I'm here to not just build resources for myself, but also for others. So I already have that clarity that what I want to transmute it to. Right? Like ever since I was a kid, like despite of all of that, we were also trained, like mom always trained me to give to others. Like we used to always go out, give food, just make sure that you are giving to people. Don't keep everything for yourself. You don't need a lot of things. You live minimalistically. You don't need a lot of wealth. As long as you have good community, as long as you're good to people, good as in you're genuine, not the perfect person. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to get angry. but never forget that you're here for a purpose, and that purpose is to serve others as well, not just yourself.
So, one of the questions in the chat here that I think speaks very well to this is, so how do you actually do that? Alex and I must be clicking the button at the same time. Alex,
Oh, okay.
click
You
the
go
button.
first. You go first.
Nope. Hope it's all you.
Okay.
Okay. The long question being here, how do you do that? Right? Because it's one thing to say, that's what I do. It's another thing to say, here's how you do it. I'm so curious. Their follow-up was like, is it affirmations? And I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's not what you mean.
No.
But I would love to hear your take on this, and I can throw some thoughts in myself as well.
It's more of a mental work, basically. This is where the mental work comes in. So it's working with your subconscious mind, right? Some people are very connected to their subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind governs 95% of your entire life. It is also responsible to create your reality. It is the bridge between your physical world and the spirit world. Right. So when you start to work with your subconscious mind, affirmations are great, but a lot of people are still stuck within their conscious mind. It's still black and white to them. They are not going beyond that dualistic nature because the subconscious mind doesn't function that way, right? It requires 3 positive words to replace 1 negative word.
Yeah.
So this is why people say that, write affirmation 10,000 times and it's going to work. That's so much effort. Just work with your subconscious mind. Why are you making your life difficult?
So, yeah, I've developed this like interface with my kind of subconscious where I just kind of
Anahaa needs to be put
visualize
with a dub
pulling up a thread and then like whatever I want it to work on. Like if I wanted to think about a certain thing, then I visualize tying that thought into the thread. And then I drop it and I let it sink back down into my subconscious. And then it goes to work on it. And then when it's done, boom, it pops into my head. And I have like, oh, this is how I need to approach it. All right. Yeah. And this is the technique I've used since I was like, I guess in my early 20s is when I first found this. And it's like, it's simple but effective. And it takes a while, right? It's not immediate result. Like it takes time. Like it's, you'll do it. And then like, it depends on how complicated it is, right? What you want to do, the intention you want to set as to how long it takes to play out.
I would love to ask your opinion on this because I feel like, in completely secondary to this conversation, a lot of people expect when you deal with the problem, right, whatever that might be, the benefit will be immediate, right? You're going to feel that immediate, I'm so relieved, right? That kind of quick fix magic, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
I have often, as a practitioner, proudly of his Western heritage, but very much in that, struggled with that outcome of like, no, you should expect it's going to take a while. Recovery is hard. There are issues with that. Where do you fall in that? Hey, you're working through this, whether you're following your teachings or you're working with you as a guide. What do you think is the timeline for success? Because I feel like a lot of people get a little bit bogged down, a little bit discouraged when it isn't immediate. They're 2 sessions in and they haven't gotten the benefits from it. Well, it takes a while. I'm curious where you're at with that, because I think particularly when we talk about capital N, capital A, New Age, they promise quick fixes, right? You're going to come to my psychic session, you're going to leave great and no problems at all. What is your perspective on that?
Well, one, I've made sure that people who are actually ready to train themselves, they only end up getting my services. So I've done a bit of that work, because there's nothing called as a quick fix. Like, you have to train yourself. Even magic is like a muscle, right? It needs to be
Yes.
trained.
100%.
And when you train it, like, this is why I do not give out sessions for transmutation. I was like, you want to learn? We have a beginner's course. You go do that on your own. I want to see if you can do it on your own first. I will be there to guide you, but there's no point in me doing everything for you when you don't even understand the process yourself.
Well, I want to pause you there and step that back a little bit in terms of the pedagogy of magic, right? Of how you're approaching that. So to clarify what you're saying we have this sort of self-guided. I'm guessing you've
Yeah.
prepared the material, whatever, but go take that and then come to me
Yeah.
for the push. I love that approach. As a magic teacher, I've struggled with the how much do I need you to prove yourself before I bother
Yeah.
pushing you further,
Yeah.
versus I want everyone to at least go swimming, even if you're not
Yeah.
going to dive in the deep end. I at least want you to be in the pool. How have you found success working with people on that? I want this, but I'm not ready. What do you do then? What advice do you give them? What direction do you provide? Because I really struggle with that. I honestly don't know what to tell them.
I don't work with them. I am kind, of course. I'm like, maybe this could not be the you. And it's okay. You're inferior or anything. Maybe you're something else. Right? That is why you are not feeling inclined towards it. It's your life. I don't have to convince people to change. Because when you start convincing people, you almost slip into a pleasing pattern where you're like, oh no, I'm gonna fix your entire life and I am like your mother.
Right.
And it's very irritating
Right.
when people start seeing you as their parental figures. Like, I am way younger than you are. I cannot be your mom.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've never had that problem because I think I make it clear that I'm not available for that, know, and like people just know better.
Well, I think it's also like a common thing that you see on like Astro Twitter or Occult Twitter, where a lot of these like people have put out this like energy and like take on this role as like, I will take care of you, or like, I know how to take care of you, and
you're just paralyzing people by doing that. You're not helping them step in their.
Exactly. And like something that I've also noticed recently is like how there's so many guardrails up too. And I think that it not only paralyzes people, like you just said, but I think it's like it's like treating people like children in some sense. And I feel like the best way to learn obviously is not by the best way to learn is by just diving into the deep end, which I'm not recommending, by the way, at all. But I think there is this like common trap that spiritualists fall into, which is like, I'll take care of you. I'm the witch mother, or like, or I'm like spirit mother, where it's. I think that it's easy to take on that role because people will naturally see you. And it might
it's also
also
marketing,
help you.
right?
Exactly. It'll probably help you garner like a larger following if you take on the role that people expect you to be. But there's a lot of pitfalls with it, like you're mentioning some.
Yeah, and like even when this is why I did not create a community of people who have purchased the courses and stuff. Because like I am not going to hold your hand. I do not have it in me to ask you every single day if you've done the work. You are a grown adult.
Yep.
Why do you need someone to hold your hand through something that is very self-explanatory? If you have questions, doubts, I am 100% going to be there. If you feel like, okay, I just need to talk to you, yes, I'm going to be there. But I am not going to give you the training wheels. I'm not going to hold your hand. You're grown. This is your life. You are in control. Otherwise, you will just keep depending on everyone else to do everything for you.
Mm.
And that's not the point.
That makes me so happy to hear, because I find a lot of people struggle, particularly from a Western worldview, where they'll take a class with me and they're like, well, what's the next class? And I'm like, what do you mean? You took this, like I taught you how to do the thing. I don't ever want you to talk to me about this again. Like, if you have to come back to me, that means I failed as a teacher. Like, I didn't teach you the thing correctly. Like, so I find it so funny that, particularly when we talk about New Age occultism, it is so much about cultivating that cult of personality. And I think about, Blavatsky, right? She goes to India and she meets with all of these yogis, and they're all like, "What are you doing? What do you mean what do you mean you want me to show you parlor trick magic? Like, no, you stupid idiot Russian woman. What are you like? No." And it so echoes what you were talking about, maybe in a more delicate way than they were to her. If you want to be a parlor trick magician, fine, but you will never learn anything. The truth lies beyond that. And if the manifestation of a particular phenomenon is what you fixate upon, you've lost the plot, right? You're not engaging in the truth of this. And I love hearing that in what you're saying, because so much of my struggle is like, if you go back to the Western tradition pre-Christianity, it's saying the same thing. It is only, pushing the 1200s that we start to get to, oh no, the spirit is one, and you should only engage in this singular unity and reject all plurality. How do you find yourself, whether it's with your clients or with people at large, how do you engage with that ignorance of monotheism, of the singular truth, right? There's only one thing that's true, and only that one thing can be true. That is so antithetical to in my experience, all magical traditions, but certainly when we're talking about the Aryan Vedic traditions, like, that is the exact opposite of what you're supposed to walk away from. How do you engage with them? Because I personally, I don't know how. I am of the, well, fuck you. You'll drown on your own, and that's fine. And I don't like that answer, so I'm hoping you have a better one. But if that's your answer too,
I mean,
at least I feel
never
better.
challenge a person's belief system. That is one thing I've learned.
Yes.
Never challenge it.
Yes.
If they are happy, if it is helping them, great. Go deal with it. I may have a different approach. You have a different approach. I respect you. Even if you don't respect me, that's fine.
Yes.
Like, no energy needs to go there. Just stay happy, stay blessed. You do you.
Yeah. So, like, it's funny that you say that, because like my first kind of spiritual teacher that I had, he said that it was a sin to try and take someone's religion away from them, or take someone's belief system away from them. Like, if you see somebody that clearly, like, they're operating from some, like, house of cards, Bibleist, fundamentalist Christian mindset, that could, like, you could just, like, show them a couple of Google links and, like, give them a 30-minute convincing conversation. It would completely shatter their conception. Obviously they would get mad before you would even have a chance to get that information in, because of all their defense mechanisms or whatever. But even in the hypothetical situation where you could get through to somebody, he said that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't try to rip people's beliefs away from them, right? And the thing is, I think that, okay, on one level, yes, but on another level, no, because on another level, that means that I cannot say what it is that I think, because a lot of the things that I have to say go against what a lot of other people believe. And so, I think if I'm putting certain types of things out there, right? If they're tuning in to listen to what I have to say, then if they if they have some bad reaction to that, that's not on me, right? Like it's only
that's
if
not
I
on you.
seek
You
them
just
out
ignore.
and
Yeah, you just
try to
ignore
do it,
them.
you
You just
know.
ignore them. Because like I have worked with really good YouTubers as well, like in spiritual spaces. Like I used to work for their marketing and stuff. So I have seen how bad it can get for them. They always said, if you're clear on what is it that you're sharing, you're rooted in yourself. You don't have to worry about what someone else is tuning in and telling you. Because there's going to be a lot of people who do that. And they get a kick out of it. They enjoy that. A lot of people are frustrated in life. They feel lost. So when they see someone who is very secure, who's very grounded and rooted, their first reaction would be, how does this person have what I want?
Mm.
And
Exactly.
it is their unhealed side coming out. So instead of taking it in, you just block yourself out. Don't give it attention. Let it starve.
In terms of like kind of the metaphysics of that, sort of the inverse, right? So when we feel that, right? Because I'd love to sit here and pretend that I've never been jealous or envious, particularly, but it's happened. How do you turn that feeling of lack and absence, kind of in your talk about transmutation? How do you manifest that as a proactive will, as some kind of
So
engaging energy? What does that look like?
I mean, jealousy and everything only happens when you want something, but you don't have the ability to go and get it, right? So instead of questioning the other person, you're like, wait, what am I lacking that is preventing me from getting the exact same thing? So that is where your awareness is needed, right? A lot of people don't have that awareness, unfortunately. So jealousy is not negative. Anger is not negative. Seeing someone have something and wanting that is not negative. However, disrupting them for your peace of mind and be like, oh, if I don't have it, you're not going to have it. See, that is where your awareness is needed.
That is the quintessential difference in the 7 deadly sins between jealousy and envy. So envy is a sin, jealousy is not.
I found that jealousy and envy for me have never been something I've experienced strongly, and I feel like as I've grown spiritually, like I'm never upset at someone doing well, right? Even if it's someone I hate, like the feeling isn't envy or jealousy. It's like, all right, I have to hand it to them, right? You know what I mean? They've been, you know what I mean? It's this kind of recognition of, all right, well, they got, they've been doing this, they've been hustling, I will give them props, right? Like I never hate to see someone do well, even if it's someone that I don't like. And you can't, because if you don't like seeing someone else do well, then you don't like seeing people do well, right? So it's
exactly.
As a professional hater who is notoriously jealous, I've never been envious. I've never wanted to take anything away from anyone, but I have definitely looked at people and been like, I'd like that for me. And I sort of maybe echoing what you were saying earlier, Naha. I love the idea that jealousy really isn't the problem. For me, it's envy and I would draw the line between envy is wanting to take what someone else has for yourself. Jealousy is a feeling of lack. And so, engaging in that alchemical mindset, it's always been like, well, if I lack this thing, what is it that I lack that allows me to attain X object? But I feel like so many people particularly who are approaching magic or magical practices or spiritual practices from an outside perspective, right? They're coming into this, they're Googling, they're looking for it. They're going to run into, no, you need to be positive and you need to think positively and you never ever allow a negative thought to enter your mind. How dare you be self-critical? Like, No,
That's
you're
the biggest
perfect.
mistake of the
Yeah.
new age.
Mhm.
Honestly, that's the biggest mistake, and I think that people are wising up to it. Honestly, I think there's less and less people that are talking about how you can't ever be negative, and being negative ruins your manifestation qualities. I think that
No.
yeah, I'm starting to see like less and less new age spiritualists
Yeah.
talking about it and kind of pointing out that flaw, which is good.
I
It
will
gives me
always take
hope.
any progress. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, okay, the thing is that eventually it is in the spiritual world, it is about power, right? It's not about good or bad.
Mm.
If you have immense power within you, then whatever is it that you want is going to make its way towards you. Now you use anger, you use envy, whatever is it that you use, all emotions have intensities, right? You use that intensity with awareness, then you transmute that, and then you eventually end up getting what you want. But you have to keep in mind that you are not hurting anyone in the process. This is a very thin line where people get messed up with.
So, can you elaborate a little bit on the divide? I have my own thought about what that line might be, but what is the line that you would see between those two aspects?
One is, like you guys were saying, right? Like, if someone is doing well, even if you don't like them, you're like, I'm glad you're doing well, but I also have to do my work and I need to see where I'm going wrong. The other is destroying someone's life, taking their energy, thinking that becoming that person is going to get you what you want. But it doesn't work like that. Because manifestation is all about staying true to yourself, right? It's not about latching or leeching off someone's energy to get what you want.
I love that verb you chose there is leeching. Can you talk a little bit more about what that looks like in terms of, let's say you've got someone comes to you and they say, I think I've been negatively affected. I'm struggling. That leeching effect, what does that look like from your perspective as a practitioner, and how do you address that? Whether it's through the hypnosis, through yoga, how do you help people approach that? Because I know, from my own experience and from other people's experiences, as sort of the occult has become a little bit more topic du jour online, so has come the increased maleficia, people causing harm to each other. How do you help people draw that line and identify, okay, here it's time for intervention, and what does that intervention look like?
Now it really depends. Like if I have no option but to be disruptive about it, I will have to step up and be like, listen, dude, this is not right. However, the consequence is something you will have to face. Because
So
I am not like, it's like I'm giving you the tool. How you use it is up to you. If your intention is to hurt others, you cannot come and tell me that the practice is the one that caused you harm when you did not even reflect how your intentions were.
So,
Right.
there's a lot of lore about, curses and causing harm to other people. Where do you fall on that line? I certainly have my own thought about it, but I've heard many, some people are like, if it only affects you if you believe in it. And I'm like, oh, that would be a convenient world.
No, it does. It does affect people. It does affect people. But I think, my guru actually told me this very beautiful thing. He was like, if you're feeling it, there's a high chance the other person is also feeling it. If you're feeling random anger or hate towards someone, they are also feeling it. But instead of feeling that, just ask yourself, what exactly have they done? This is where your self-inquiry comes in. And if the person cannot even do that, then why exactly are they practicing what they're practicing? This is why even with astrology, right, circling back to even astrology, when you are doing astrology, you need to reach a level of consciousness to become someone who reads charts. Because when you're reading charts, right, you're taking so much energy from the person. You're seeing everything that they cannot see. You have to be so careful. Even if you see that, oh, this person's going to go through a rough time. Sometimes what happens is that you end up taking that person's rough time on you, and they don't even know it.
Interesting. Huh.
Put this shit in the club. I would dance to it all night. Yeah. Oh, put Anahaa to a beat, please, somebody, because I need to shake my ass all night to this. Oh,
Cooper is this close to twerking.
I've been twerking in my seat.
No, but I was very happy because I think I came across Hope when I think you were doing a course on astrology, and I was like very happy to see that. I was like, oh, finally someone is doing something properly rather than just reading about it on it for 2 days and then like, oh, now I'm an astrologer. No, you're not. You cannot read on it for 2 days and know what you're practicing. This is where the traditionalist approach needs to be there, right? Like, cool, you learn, you have a great teacher, and then yes, you can be like, once you're good, you're clear, then you can do the readings. Otherwise, the chaos that we see unfolds the way that it is unfolding. People are misusing astrology in a very terrible way.
I mean, so I would say that I do push back against the idea. So I know that there's a lot of people that claim to teach themselves astrology and then go out and there's, just doing this. But, I don't think you need to be taught by somebody, right? Like I'm self-taught basically. I've had teachers since, but the way I taught myself astrology is reading the books and then first applying it to celebrity charts, then the charts of everyone I knew in my life, right? Collecting that information, kind of reading their charts,
years of
observing
practice,
them.
right? It's not 2 days, it's years of
and
practice.
Then I went out and I would just, anyone I met in public, I would read their chart, right? Any way I could try and work it in, I would do it. And I just did it over and over and over and taught myself, and then started reading people's charts for free online and did that for a long time. And I think if you just expose yourself to it enough, it's, to me, so I also taught myself how to read, right? Books, right? Like I had insomnia when I was a kid. I taught myself how to read. No one taught me, right? I was up all night and I was bored. And there's all these books on the shelf and I just got them out and I just figured out how to read. And astrology has been the same way for me. But
I have a question. Okay, sorry to interrupt. I have a question. So you did mention that before even you started reading these charts, you did have teachers, right?
No. So the teachers have only come since I publicly announced myself as an astrologer and started reading charts online. Then teachers have come to me, and I've had several teachers that have reached out to me and have seen that I'm an earnest student and have taught me for free and helped guide me and further develop me, right? Because
so this is what I'm saying. Like when you're genuine, when like your intentions are good, like you've been doing this for a while, right? Like your consciousness was expanded in that way. You need to be at a certain level of consciousness to be able to read charts, right? So even if you say you're self-taught, in a way, universe did send you those tiny, tiny things that it did to help you be where you are. So maybe you didn't have a physical teacher. Maybe the universe was your guide.
Right. Well, I mean, my teachers are all the dead people that have written all these books that I read, right?
Yeah. So even they're guiding you.
And living astrologers too, right? Like I read all the astrology books, right? Like it's not like I just approach this from just looking at the chart and having no idea what anyone else has said, right? Obviously, I read a ton of the books. I read from anything from modern astrology to the Hellenistic to even then delving into the Vedic stuff came later. But it's been a journey, right? But I have I've been, so I think that there's this idea of all right, so should astrology be gate kept? And it's like, I can kind of see the argument for it. But on the other hand, it's like, it's kind of too late for that, right? It's like, it's closing the gate after the horse has left a bit. Yeah.
But we have to like trust the energies, right? Like if the energies can bring you knowledge, they can also protect themselves. We don't have to do that for them. There's a reason why a lot of knowledge is being distorted right now. It is a way of protection. Like energies protect themselves in ways that even we cannot see. And I think that's very interesting. Like it will open up to you when they're like, yeah, it's time for me to, learn all of that. Yeah.
So we need to wrap up here, but we were wanting to know, like, any kind of, concluding thoughts, like, what do you think? How do you think people should approach when they look for someone, like, someone spiritual? What do you think they should look for?
Always trust your intuition. Never follow a teacher who wants to make you dependent on them, because that is a cult right there. Learn to live in this world. Your relationships are very important. Money is very important. Like, do not dismiss the physical world, because your spirit, the more strong you are in spirit, the easier your physical, like, it's easier for spirit to materialize in a matter, basically. So strengthen your physical and your spirit, and then just watch how easily everything manifests.
Yeah, I love it.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anahaa.
And if you
Thank
want
you
a
so
book
much
to
for
purchase on
having me.
that, Beyond the Horizon.
A
A Modern Seeker's
first
Guide
book
to
is
Meaning,
great.
Mystery, and Magic.
Yes.
Wouldn't you know it, does happen to cover a fantastically syncretic view of Eastern and Western philosophy, written by a charming homosexual who you all might know. So you can go ahead and check that book out.
Also a great dancer and a great singer. So there's that. We got to add that too, right?
I can dance very well, and I would be happy to show it to you if you invite me to a party sometime.
Anahaa, are you doing any service? Are you providing any services right now?
Yeah, what can we plug from you?
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
I do have it on Gumroad. Like, I'm providing tarot and hypnosis and my Kriya Yoga courses so far. Yes.
Awesome. And so how, if someone wants to find you from this chat, what are they Googling? What are they looking for? Where are you
They
at?
can
Where
just
can we find
DM
you?
me on Twitter or on Instagram.
Okay, awesome. So you guys heard it here?
Wait, sorry.
Check
Do you
her
have
out.
the same handle? Do you have the same handle on Instagram, Anahaa?
Wait, I'll just type it in here. Wow,
Awesome.
I feel like a child with technology. How do you type things over here?
You want to
There's
make
nothing
sure that
worse
people
than
can find
streaming
you.
and typing. I feel like I'm a 13th century peasant immediately. I completely know where you're at right now.
Or a
Now I
13-year-old.
can see it. Yeah, now I can see it. This is so interesting. Okay, cool. This is my I forget we've changed the Twitter to X.
I know. I
Nobody
still call it
refers to it that
Twitter.
way.
Yeah, we still call it
I
Twitter.
miss Twitter so much. Like them replacing the cute little bird that tweets with the fucking X. It's like, it's so, God, I hate it so much. It's the
Gen X
worst,
needs to be canceled.
worst rebrand in marketing history of the world. Like replacing the cute little bird that tweets with the X. Like, fuck that.
That's
oh
so
my God,
aggressive.
I hate it so much.
Well, and
It's
the awful,
so
like,
awful.
screen noise texture applied to the graphic is even worse. Like, you do not need to do that. It is not 2004. We do not need to put that kind of texture on our images. Like, it's okay. Found footage isn't cool anymore.
Well, like Elon, I mean, he's turned out to be the guy that he's like not even cool enough to hang out with the other billionaire pedos.
Yeah.
Like, they all think he's lame and like ghosting
you
him and
think
shit,
that
and be like,
Elon
"Oh no,
Musk-
dude, sorry, we can't make it to the island." Like, when
Do you think
are
that
gonna
Sam
be there.
Altman is allowing fucking Elon Musk
He's just sad.
disgusting
Like,
body
he's
into the circle
actively
jerk?
he's just actively bleeding his wounds out in public. Some of us
So-
do it in
No,
private.
that's
His is just out in the open. That's
That's a
Should
good way
have
to
just
put
taken
it.
Grimes and her willingness to fucking publicly humiliate herself as his wife. And like that was your peak, dude. You should have just rode that till the end. You could have been a hero. You could have been a legend for dumpy bodied white men, and you fucking failed us all. And I'm so disappointed
Yeah.
in Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a guy that like just
Because
like
he has money.
does
What do you mean? Why did
ketamine all
those
the
women date
time
him?
and like wants to
Hey.
colonize Mars. It's just
Slow
like
down
what is
now.
wrong with
He
you, dude?
cannot hear the word no. He cannot hear any criticism. He cannot hear the word no at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you tell me no, you are blocked. You are out of my life. Like, dude, that's
Yep.
So one of the funniest things about the Twitter is so you remember when he changed it so that when someone had blocked you, you could still go to their profile and see their tweets. I
Yeah.
suspect that that's because Elon got tired of having to
Tired
switch
of-
to an alt to view the
Yes.
tweets of people that blocked him, and that's why he made that policy, right?
Yeah, his entire
like-
policies are based off his emotional reactions at this point. All of them.
Yeah, literally the X that we have today is just the conclusion of all of Elon Musk's like emotional outbursts on the app. All the features that exist today is because Elon Musk is emotional.
This is why we need to learn to manage our emotions.
Right. This is why New Age occultism should not be fueling the alt-right, but unfortunately, it is fueling the alt-right. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm
I know
sad.
this isn't the podcast about Nazism and the American
Yeah, well, you know, there's like
military-industrial
the
complex.
Kirkinator and all that shit is like the whole, you know, and the Agartha memes and all of that. That's the
Okay,
new-
hold on though.
That's the right
because
wing meme.
The Agartha memes
thing.
of like,
The
okay,
Kirkinator
this-
and all that shit.
no, sorry, this needs to be off chat because I can't even admit that I follow these channels. But there's like
You know what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about, okay?
Alex, no,
Okay.
worse. What I'm about to introduce is 10 times worse than what you're saying. It's particularly like AI videos of like black men being invited into Agartha and like the wiggers of Agartha.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
like,
yeah, I've seen that.
I am
Yeah.
obsessed. I am dedicated to being an Agarthan wigger. Like I believe I could fulfill that role. I could bring the races together. And I'm open to that option. I think maybe there are better choices. Oh, how could you? It's so funny.
Oh no.
Yeah, all right, this conversation really went
We gotta
like
wrap
a
up.
nosedive straight into the abyss. The end of this episode.
You should Chan, what you should watch is I'm gonna find them. Agartha.
All right.
All right. Well,
All right.
Anahaa, where can everyone find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I think we put in the
I put
the
your
users.
at in the description
Yes.
of the YouTube video.
Yes.
So find her on YouTube and Instagram or X and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Anahaa, thank you so much for coming. Your insights and your thoughts and your wisdom is honestly so grounding. You have such a grounding energy to you. And
Thank you.
yeah, so grounding, it's so soothing, but also there's a power in what you say and in your energy. So yeah, I think you're great. And yeah, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me over here.
Okay. All right. Well, bye everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry, you Zurugo, that we're leaving right as your dinner arrived. We have other episodes up on YouTube if you want to watch those.
Have a good
Thanks
night,
so much
everyone.
for
There's like
tuning
a lot
in.
of
Good
old
night.
episodes of stuff I've done. Yeah, just go on the channel, find something else. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.